Hey folks, this is Ben back with you in the Midwest Model Shop. Okay, so I wanted to give you an update on things and of course the Enterprise build. This is going to be a very short video, mostly talking, but I think you're going to see some things that you're interested in. So I haven't worked on the Enterprise per se in the sense of the kit itself since last time. And part of that's because it's summertime now. I've got lots of stuff going on, and that's just, you know, you need to. I don't build as much in the summer. The Duchess of Kingston build that those of you who are seeing on the channel pop up every Wednesday. Those videos are over a year old. You're basically catching up to the Patreon series on that build. I do appreciate and thank everyone who's gone over though to Patreon to watch all that stuff. Thank you to everyone who likes and subscribes on this channel, and thank you especially to everyone who goes to our website, themidwestmodelshop.com, and purchases stuff. Nora and I really do appreciate it. All right, so what is happening with the Enterprise build then, if I haven't really been working on it? I have been working on it, just not the kit itself. So we're quickly approaching the point where I want to put things inside of the hangar bay. The kit doesn't come with anything except some airplanes. So what I've been doing is trying to come up with a list of items that would be in the hangar bay, I think, circa November of 1942. So what I've done is quickly designed, well, it was quick, but it took all day. I designed up a bunch of stuff that I think would be in the hangar bay. And this is what we're going to do in this episode, is look at just the prototypes purely in extremely rough draft, but some painted up things to get an idea of what this stuff would look like and does it help. I really need everyone's thoughts and opinions here. I am essentially asking for help, and please comment down below. I don't know what color things really were inside of a lot of these ships during World War II. I don't know what kind of supplies were there. I don't know what the toolboxes looked like. All the pictures I found online are a lot of like when the hangar's cleaned up and it's nice and clean and there's a formation and everybody's doing their thing and it's a controlled photograph. You know, I know that there were a ton of wings hung up in the ceilings and the rafters. It's a great place to store parts and some airplanes for that matter. We could do that, but you can't really see those things when the ship's together. I want it so that when you're looking inside of all these open hangar bay doors, that there's stuff to see on the inside. So we're going to take a look at everything that I've 3D printed in rough draft. We're going to look at an airplane design that is in process, and you'll see one of the little 3D 1/200 scale figures that I've printed, that I've working with a subcontractor to design, because I don't do soft modeling, not yet anyway. All of this is very much a work in progress. Nothing's done yet, but I wanted to share with you the steps so that you kind of see what I'm going through in the thought process. And yeah, this is all for the Enterprise, and how are we going to make all of this work? Anyway, lots of talking. Just bear with me. See what I present. Share your thoughts and ideas, please, and that will help me focus on where to go, because when it comes to 3D printing and designing things, especially in CAD designing things, it takes a lot of mental energy and effort to figure out what is the best order of operations, what's the best way to go about creating this thing. So knowing what that thing is in advance saves me a step, right? Especially if I could find some drawings or some pictures of it to emulate. And then you got to worry about scaling. That's another big factor. So anyway, let's go ahead and just kind of move into the build here and look at the parts and things we've got. Again, like I said, short video. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you out there. All right, folks, here we are back at the Enterprise, where virtually nothing has been done to the hull per se since last time, other than touching up some paint and things like that, and we're poking along. But I've been spending a lot of time here, sorry about the big jiggles there, thinking about inside. I want to have stuff be inside of the ship, right? We have this big, huge space right here. So there's a few ways to handle all of this, but basically I want things inside, right? So I've gone ahead and, like I probably said in the intro already, is I started off with designing stuff for the interior of the hull here, and I do need your help with this. Obviously, airplanes were inside, but then what other things are there? A lot of the photographs of the inside are very clean. They put all the stuff away, but I've seen pictures of the ship underway, and there's materials and supplies and stuff all over the place, right? All right, so let's take a look real quick here at some of the things I've whipped up down here. All right, so this is very early in the design process. This is just, I had a whole bunch of ideas, and you throw it together and you get this kind of a rough draft. So this is like a bunch of very large crates, some smaller crates. These are supposed to be 55-gallon drums. These are pallets. And down here we actually have some engines, the Pratt & Whitney R6 or R1802s, the ones on the Wildcats. These are supposed to be bombs on the little bomb rack that you wheel along. I'll see if I can zoom in here and get an idea of what they look like. They need refining, and they're probably only big enough to be 500-pounders, not 1,000-pounders. I guess that's right. Over here we have some toolboxes I imagined up. Drawers open, some tops open, and then the little ones. Again, they didn't all print right. There's issues with all of this, but I got to start somewhere. Basically, the only thing I'm truly happy with here is the pallets turned out fantastic. The engines are all right. They're actually the right size. I'm not sure if my 55-gallon drums are a little too small or not, and these are just arbitrary-sized boxes. Now, for scaling, I have this little collection here of what I consider to be the gold standard here. These are 1/200 scale sailors that I bought 3 years ago, from True North. True North? Yeah, North Star. Sorry, North Star. And the problem with them is twofold. One, they were at the time outrageously expensive, and shipping took forever. I think I actually waited 8 or 9 months for them to show up. It was just absurd. The other problem is they're based in Ukraine, and I think that's all I need to say about that. And so I don't think you can get these anymore. But we are working on our own design. Like here's a little guy that I 3D printed, I subcontracted out. You know, he's a little walking man. He's teeny tiny. You know, they're not high detailed or anything special, but they are to scale. So the idea was, you know, do they match up at all, kind of scale wise, with all this stuff? So what have I done? I've painted some of this up. Let's look at that. All right, so these are our pallets all painted up. There's a couple loose. I did some red and blue toolboxes. I don't know what colors these were. I need your guys' help with that, please. My crates, I just quickly painted them brown and threw a brown wash on them. And then the 55-gallon drums, I painted some black. And then for some reason, I felt like there should be some olive drab ones. I don't know, maybe. So yeah, just kind of a collection of things, right? And then the engines, there's a couple engines. This is rough because I don't have an engine stand or like a crate to put this in. I was thinking about making like kind of a crated out box, print it separately, that's framed, that you could like drop this in, right, or on, so that you could paint this up and then stick it in the crate, the shipping crate or something, or like find an engine stand. I haven't totally decided yet. So please comment down below with colors, ideas. I don't have my little toolboxes painted up. These are right here, like the little floor ones. We're trying to see like how things will work, right? So that's the first part of all this. Now, the second part has to do with the aircraft. So the kit comes with some Wildcats, and it might, I haven't checked, come with some SBD dive bombers, but these are the Trumpeter aftermarket. You get 5 per pack. I bought some Wildcats, and then I bought the SBDs. These are the ones you can get in 1/200 scale, right? And they're nice. The problem is, so I went to this website. I scrolled down. I wanted to do November 1942 time frame, and so these are the air squadrons that are there. So we've got the Wildcats, we got the SBDs. That's no problem. The problem is you need the TBF Avengers, and for whatever reason, Trumpeter doesn't make TBF Avengers in 1/200 scale. They also don't make Hellcats in 1/200 scale, which is not a problem for me now, but would be if I was doing something later on and I wanted them modeled, right? So what I've done is gone ahead and, well, for starters, I put together one of the SBD dive bombers, just the rough stuff, and primed it. Obviously, it's not done yet, but so we could start getting an idea for things here, right? My engines actually it seems not right, but they're actually the right size. They would fit inside the cowl if you could do that, and that's an option. You could model that with this off and put the cowl in front of it, or that's something I wanted to create as an option to do there. The 55-gallon drums don't look too bad next to it. Our figure, let's see, our bomb is teeny tiny. It's about right. If we get in here for like a 500-pound bomb, I think the whole thing goes a little too small. So I'm going to have to scale this up, which is fine. We can go ahead and do that easily enough. I'm super happy with the way the pallets look, though, right? This is one that's just not painted up, but on the ground. And if you were to put like a 55-gallon drum on it or something like that, it would look good. And here's one of my figures in 1/200 scale, and it's the right size. I'm convinced that these airplanes are big, but they're not as big as you think they are. And then this is him next to the pallet, the engine, and then the 55-gallon drums. I've got to work that out still. I'm not sure if they should be a little bigger or if they're actually just right. So yeah, but these we're getting close to having some of these available soon. So the problem is the TBF Avengers. So what I decided to do was get some plans online and try to model them 3D, and we'll 3D print them. I have some clear resin. So because you guys know these are printed in clear, right? And then I primed this, and then you have the clear windshield and stuff like that. I have clear resin, so I thought, well, I need to design a TBF Avenger. There's a lot of windows on that, and I want to design it with options for the wings to be folded and open, and flaps down, and the torpedo bay open and things like that. But it all takes a really long time to do. So the clear resin, this is like some of my test prints. It prints clear, but as soon as you wash it, you end up kind of with a hazy window, a hazy look, which isn't too particularly great. What you can do is paste some of the clear over it, the wet resin over it once you've cleaned it, and then re-cure it, and it will be clear like glass. Let me show you a piece that's super clear. That's this guy right here. It's got, you can almost see completely through it, no troubles at all. But it's a little tacky, and it's a problem. But I've noticed that the styrene clear pretty much matches the clear of the wash stuff. So I think we're going to be okay. I was experimenting with this because I have windows here. These are Titanic windows that I'm trying to print. I'm trying to see if they will work out. So far, they're not working out. They're going to be a little opaque. I haven't figured out, even though you could see it's at the very bottom there. It's kind of like super clear. It's just hard to get. This stuff is difficult. It's difficult to work with. But anyway, what I've done is gone ahead and started working on a TBF Avenger, building it up here in CAD. And this is an extremely long, drawn-out process, and it is not easy. But when we're done, hopefully we'll have a TBF Avenger. I'm not there yet. One of the issues is if we go back and take a look here at the trumpeter models, these are great, and you can see the panel lines and everything, and it looks super cool, right? The problem is, in this scale in real life, you would not see any panel lines, right? Like at all. You would just see some, kind of like this, like how I'm holding it there. You would just kind of make out some stuff, the shape, that's it. So, first of all, I gotta see how well my panel lines will print, and then I need to see if I need to do it on my models, and how will it turn out and how will it look next to all these models, the trumpeter ones. They need to be, they need to kind of work out to be the same thing. All right, so with that all being said, let's take some of this stuff and put it in the carrier to get an idea of like what it may look like. Okay, here we are inside of the hangar deck, and this is kind of working out because I have a big opening here. So let's just start off with like, I don't know, like a toolbox, right? We'll put one over here. That's our Craftsman, and then we'll put our Snap-on toolbox next to it. I don't know what colors these were, again, so I need folks' input with what was what, right? I'm not sure. So then we've got some 55-gallon barrels. These, I think, are about the right size. You could put those there. Maybe we put a pallet down, right? And we'll put an OD one on here. I don't know what color the barrels were. Were they black? Were they olive drab? I'm not sure, right? And then we could just have another pallet kind of leaning up against the wall here. That might be a good idea. Like that, right? And then we got an opening here. I don't remember where that's to, but we could put some larger boxes in place, some crates and things like that. And there's something going on, right? If we drop our aircraft into position here, you get a sense of the scale and what's going on. Let's see. We could have another pallet here. And let's grab our engine and just, I know this is not, right, but we'll set it on here. And I knocked over my toolboxes. Put one up against the wall. Let's bring the other one over here like we're going to work on something. Just set this on there for now. All right. I think that's pretty good. It's not painted up yet. I think it's too small, but that's a little bomb loader. I think that needs to be scaled up and made larger so that it works. Maybe you're going to make a big project out of this, so you put some things right here. Like another pallet. I need ideas, folks, with what should we be putting around here. Obviously, you'd never have the gun, the bomb right there. Maybe there's a work table, a bench. I don't know if they had those out there or not. My little figure, I can't drop him because he'll let go because he'll tip over. And I don't want to glue him down, but maybe he's walking around or he's getting ready to go buy stuff over here. Sorry, I know it's going out of focus. This is all kind of hard to do. But anyway, that's the idea, right? And I don't want these, you wouldn't have the planes, maybe the wings would be unfolded down here in the hangar bay, but mostly they'd be folded up because they just take up too much room, right? But I feel like, we've kind of got, there's some stuff going on. That's the idea. There's things to look at that are happening back here, and I don't know. I need your help with all of that. So if you've got some ideas for what kind of things we should have, maybe different size boxes, you know, because then you can, let's see, get another one here. You could stack them up. I know that they kind of were around like that. And some more pallets. I've got lots of pallets. Were pretty easy to make, and I think that they look pretty nice too. Engine stands or something, right? But the idea is that when we're out here and we're peeking inside of the ship from outside, we want to see something other than just a big open space. I think that this adds a lot of interest to the inside at a glance. You know, like what's going on back here. And there's a little bit of color and things like that too. So I want to put a bunch of airplanes back in here, probably the TBF Avengers with the wings folded. We'll have some so they could go up on deck when we get there. But yeah, ideas. What color were the toolboxes? What color were the 55-gallon drums? How many crates would there be? Would they have like maybe a portable work table? I'm thinking maybe like an engine stand or a jack type of thing. Something, right? I want to fill this space up with stuff before, well, obviously in the next episode, we need to fill in this space and then once that's done, really the only thing left to do outside here on the whole of the ship is the supports that go up across the top here will get put in. I need to wire up my lights, and because I do want lighting inside of here. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll probably start putting the deck on and things like that, right? We'll start tidying up, you know, our area up here on the bow, and there's a bunch of detail that happens here. And we'll put the deck on, and once the deck's on, I don't want to be reaching in here trying to figure out how we're going to do all of this. And I don't want just one area like this either. I want a ton of stuff. I know I could put wings up in the ceilings. Those aren't too hard to make. Maybe I'll get a bunch of, I guess, I don't know, did they go through a lot of wings? You know, we'll put some wings up in the ceiling. I know in the back would be more appropriate in the stern for like an engine test stand area. Please comment down below. Please comment about what you think you would like to see. You know, in this set, this is a rough, right? This is practice. But if we can do something generic for Navy ships where there's just stuff like this, you know, we can add life rafts and things like that, and that's something maybe we'll make available for sale, because it's a universal thing with stuff that these ships would have, right? I just need, you know, feedback on how they would go, and we'll get our sailors made up and we'll get them ready to go, and put them up for sale at some point, but definitely going to use them. So anyway, that's it. I know this is a really short one and you guys probably wanted to see a lot more progress, but this stuff, designing these things and making it work and printing it all out, takes a really long time, and it's summer and it's nice outside, and we got house projects going on, and I like spend time outside with my wife, and not necessarily all the time down here in the shop. So anyway, that's it. Please sound off down below. Like and subscribe if you want to see what's coming. But this is like an opportunity for you guys really to voice what should be here and what kind of is correct. Circa 1942, end of the year. Yeah, let's just kind of figure that stuff out. Appreciate it. All right, guys, be safe. We'll talk to you.